way to explain what graphic design was to people like my mum, actually, was to show them the process that I've been on, and I hadn't just created the logo at the end. But one big thing, actually, one outcome of it that I realised was that design needed to be brought into the education system at an earlier age, specifically design thinking, lateral thinking. So I designed a bit of a toolkit for that, and it's something I'd like to pick up potentially on this course. So then I moved to London, which I still kind of love-hate relationship with it, 5 years on. My first job was brilliant, actually. It was for Applied Information Group, so it was information design based, which is kind of very pure graphic design. And I was working on a lot of design for transport systems and wayfinding systems to help pedestrians navigate London and other cities. This is Legible London, you probably know. I ended up actually getting more involved in the user research side of things and the planning. So that's kind of where my professional history is based. Going out on the street, auditing, observation, doing user questionnaires, and then doing analysis, finding insights. And here's a user journey, which is actually from New York, which was one of the last projects I did there, and probably one of the hero projects, I'd say. Ended up working with a team that created the strategy for the wayfinding system in New York, which is currently being prototyped by Pentagram over there, and City ID as well. I felt, though, that I'd specialised a bit too early. After a couple of years, I wanted to get more into pure graphic design again. So I went and worked with Mahoney, who's a very kind of famous, important graphic designer in London. And from having like the micro kind of wayfinding research stuff, went completely to the macro. She is all about creating big impact with big environmental graphics. This was some stuff for the summer shows at RCA, so it was a very different experience. And then the last couple of years, I've been working at a very small company, being the only designer there, doing a lot of public service, public sector projects. This was a recycling campaign we worked on. The main thing about this company, which was called BIM, was that they focused everything on sustainability. So very much a cradle to the grave approach, which I've learned, now to apply throughout all of my processes. However, I become a bit dismayed with sort of the commercial world of graphic design. This is what Google thinks is just the word dismayed, by the way. And so I started to look for something else, and I knew that I wanted to basically use my skills and find a way of applying design to make a bit of a difference, and that's where I came across service design. So I started talking to people, going to some meetings, finding out what it was all about, and of course found this course. Actually, service design has been explained to me with this example, which was very useful. And it's, rather than being, say, the graphic designer like I've been, or the product designer, it was explained to me as being the designers who are at the beginning of the process, who actually create the system behind something and respond to the problem initially. And that's potentially what happened with the Barclays hire bikes. So why am I here? Well, probably the same as all of you, of course, but this is what I took into my interview in case they asked a question, which you didn't, but I'll tell you all. I just obviously wanted to come. I could have learned in industry, I thought, but I wanted to come somewhere where my best interests were at the heart of it, where I could really focus on something. That one on the right is basically, I didn't want to be swamped by these managers telling me what to do. And of course, all you guys here and having that interaction and great lecturers and that sort of thing. What I want to do with it, I'm really not sure. I'm slightly worried that I haven't really got a focus yet, but I do know that I want to use design for the public good and potentially in public services. So whether it's I continue with sort of the transport vein that I was doing at AIG, or pick up on the education stuff I was looking at uni. I'm also very interested in technology and its impact on future generations, and healthcare, of course, is a great need. I think my aspirations are to continue to work in teams, potentially look at being a leader, perhaps, but actually an all-time aspiration is to influence government policy, which I know is a bit extreme, but you've got to start somewhere. There we go. Thank you.